So what is the waiting room of God? What am I referring to when I say this? Well, I'm pretty sure you are acquainted with this room. I'm pretty sure we all have sat in God's waiting room at some point of our life, some stage of our journey, or you're probably sitting in that room as I speak. What is the waiting room of God? What do I mean by when I say this? Okay, let's look on it this way. It's like when you ask God for something, and God usually has 1 out of 3 answers for you. Either God says no, and he gives you better, or he says yes, and he gives you what you want, or he says wait, and he gives you best. It's very difficult sometimes for us as human beings to sit in the waiting room. Sometimes it feels like no. Because as human beings, sometimes we just want instant. We just want instant. We don't want to wait on anything. We don't even want to wait on food to cook. We just want it now. So it's very difficult for us at times to sit in God's waiting room and understand on a conscious level that we are waiting for the best version of what we're asking for to arrive. There are times when we are guided simply by what we want and not what we need. And sometimes as human beings, we get that mixed up and we think that what we want is a need and what we need is a want. But you see, God gives us clarity on that. God gives us clarity on it by giving us what we need at the time we need it. Now in the waiting room, there comes this thing called unconditional faith. And what this is, you know what faith is? Faith is when you literally step out and you don't see a bridge, but you know that God is going to get you across. Hey, it's like sometimes you're like, hey, I don't know how I'm going to get across this ocean to the next side, but hey, my God is going to see me through. And that's what is unconditional faith. And I use this example in one of my videos where I talked about Noah building the ark. Listen, Noah built that ark without seeing that storm coming. But guess what? He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming because he had faith in God. God told him to build the ark and he built it. Full stop. Because he knows that God's will shall be done. So, unconditional faith, God never said it would be easy, but it's worth it. It's like you ask for something and you have no idea how this is going to happen. And there's nothing tangible, nothing that can be seen by the naked eye that shows you and give you proof that this is even possible. A matter of fact, everything is going in the opposite way of the current. The current is going downhill, and all that you need to attain this goal is going the opposite direction. But you're like, listen, I'm going that way. I have faith that that's the way I should go. I'm guided by God to go this way, and that's where I'm headed. And somehow I'm going to reach there. And I know some people sitting thinking about what I'm saying and going, but isn't that being blind? Well, the kind of faith I'm talking about is blind. Is blind to doubt. Is blind to what ifs. It's blind to, but others won't understand. How could they comprehend? It's not for them to understand. You know, it is your relationship, your fellowship with God. You see, we all have our individual relationships with God that we must nurture. We must nurture it. Yes, we are a part of the collective and we're all interconnected, and we're all interconnected to God's source. But individually, we have our relationship with God, and we have to water it, and we have to talk to God and show God gratitude and give grace to others, and you know, not be hateful, not be revengeful, because for me, it's like being revengeful is just taking away from you, the best of you. You're spending too much energy trying to get back at someone for what? Pray for them. Pray for clarity for them. Pray for peace for them. And the more you understand human beings and how everyone has a journey of their own and everyone has been through something most likely traumatic, no matter how insignificant the person might think it is, they've been through something, and trauma sits somewhere if it's not healed. And I'll add this: healing is a journey, it's not a destination. So whether someone wants to admit that, you know, a situation, any situation has touched them in a way that has manifested some kind of pain, it might live somewhere within them, and we have to give them grace. And just like how we would like to be treated by God, and we are treated by God, and no matter how much times we mess up, God forgives us if we come to him and ask him forgiveness. That's how we have to deal with each other. Now, I will add, you must have healthy boundaries, because you ain't nobody foot wipe, okay? You're not allowing anyone to step in your throat 24/7, and you're just laying down there and them stepping in your throat. No. What you do, you love people unconditionally. You know, you see the truth that they have shown you and what God has shown you, and you show mercy, okay? But you are not anyone's punching bag, and I say that metaphorically, okay? You are no one's spit can, okay? Which is kind of gross, but you know what I mean. You are here to grow within self, and when you grow, it shines, it illuminates the way for yourself and others. You know, you're supposed to be a light in the world. You're supposed to be showing others, even through difficulty, that kindness and unconditional love reigns. You know, you don't stoop to the negativity that's around you. There's enough of that going around the place. You don't need to add to it. You know, leave negativity where it's at, and you shine your light as you are here to do. Now, I know that sometimes human beings have been just in survival mode without even being consciously aware of the fact that they're living in survival mode. Always on the edge, always waiting for the next thing to go wrong. You know, everything is going right. When is this going to crash? This is too good to be true. I need you to stop it, okay? I need you to understand that you are worthy of what you are receiving, that your blessings are from God, and God makes no mistakes, okay? I need you to love yourself unconditionally. The same love that you so freely give to others, I need you to give to yourself. I need you to truly look in the mirror and appreciate the beauty. And I'm not talking about physical beauty. We thank God for how He created us. You know, every part of us, the size of our nose, you know, our eyes, every strand of hair on our head. I'm talking about the depth of you, the side of you that is not tangible, that we cannot hold on to and hug. You know, that being that is in each and every one of us, our soul. That's what I'm talking about. I need you to love you, like really and truly see the beauty in you and love you. And once you truly love you, you can truly love others with that same unconditional love. You know, it starts from within. And I know this sounds cliche, like everybody says it, but it is the truth. It all starts with you. You see, unfortunately, society has a way of, without even probably being conscious of it as a collective, it is constructed in a way where human beings are expected on some level to wear masks. And the mask of being okay, the mask of all being okay all the time, of the mask of not expressing authenticity, but expressing what everyone else is doing and everyone is saying. No one wants to say anything that may seem inappropriate or going against the grain. But guess what? We are individuals for a reason. God created us as individuals for a reason. We're not created as the Borg, where we all think the same, we all walk the same, we all act the same. If God wanted that, He would have done that. There's a reason why God created us as individuals, so that we can shine our individual light out to the world. So don't try to copy someone else. What we do, we learn from each other. You know, God bless you with the individuals that are in your life to learn from them. Sit, listen, observe, and not hear only, listen to come back with something to say to prove that you're right or you're smart. Don't do that. Sit down, shut up, and listen, observe. Get to know how others think. We live among each other, and we study everything else. You know, we really should be paying attention to each other and trying to be uplifting to each other and not trying to tear and break each other down. Now, the truth is not always easy to bring forth, because the truth sometimes stings and it hurts. And unfortunately, you know, there are some that will not take accountability no matter what is shown to them. But you do not see that as a block for you to express yourself, okay? Genuine friendships and genuine connections come from authentic beings. You have to be authentic within yourself and show up as your authentic self, no matter who accepts it or who doesn't. It's not about that. It's about you showing up as yourself without the mask. And those who are supposed to understand you and those who are supposed to be around you will be drawn to you, just like you're drawn to them, because they too are authentic. Ah, Trisha is quirky, she's weird, she wears numbers, it's okay. But that's Trisha. Trisha has a good heart. And Trisha wants the best for everyone. So it matters not others validating you. I want you to step back and understand that the only validation that truly matters is how you see yourself. And how you see yourself, you will present that to the world. It is very important that you understand that. I want you to look yourself in the mirror and understand that we're not perfect and we'll never be perfect. We weren't created perfect. God is perfect. We're not. God knows this. He created us. It's okay. What we can do is try to, with each passing moment, be better than we were a moment ago. So for instance, I offend someone. I did something to offend them. I do not try to justify my actions by projecting or trying to redirect or blame them. No, I take accountability for what I did. I acknowledge it. I validate it. And guess what? Accountability is an action word. So what am I going to do? Because it's action, not just a statement and it's over with. You try your best never to let it happen again. That's what you do. Accountability brings about growth within you. It is such a beautiful thing to see a human being goes, oh, yeah, okay, I can see where I could have handled that better. And I'd like to say this too. You can agree to disagree. As human beings, we should understand that we are individuals and we will see things differently. And there's some people who are not willing to take accountability for their actions. But let's not give up on them. Let's pray for them and pray for clarity from God for them. Because they're not lost, you know. This is a journey. This is a journey. But we can agree to disagree. We can. And move on. Someone can offend you and you bring it to their attention and they say sorry. They own it. You feel the difference when someone owns it, apologizes, and you see that they try never to let it happen again. Let it go. Let it go. We are not perfect. But if you ever encounter someone who refuses to take accountability, you don't let that ever shut you down. Don't ever let it stop you from expressing your thoughts, your views, what you feel. Because guess what? You have the God-given right to do so. Especially when you're doing it from a place of authenticity, from a place of truth. Truth, not with the intention to hurt anyone, but with the intention to bring it forth, let it be known, address it. Hopefully some resolution comes from it, because that's what we want, reconciliation, and we move on. You see, we're all in different stages of our journey. And this journey is not a straight line. I'm telling you, you can make 10 steps forward and you're like, oh, look at me go. Woo! I haven't gotten mad in like 5 years. Look at me. I have not told anyone off in like 10 years. Look at me with my emotionally regulated self, my mature self. And then guess what? One day, someone says something to you, and you just decided, even if it's subconsciously, to let them know what's on your mind. And unfortunately, what was on your mind was not Pleasantville. But you know what you do? Take accountability. When you say, you know what? Let me do some self-introspection. I could have dealt with that better. You know how I know that I could have dealt with that better? Because I have dealt with that better. What are my triggers? Why did I do that? How can I not let it happen again? How can I address it in a calm, collected way, where both parties come out feeling heard, hopefully understood, and moving on in peace and not feeling as if you were dismissed in any way, or they feel like they were dismissed in any way. How can I do that? How can I do that? It's very important to be honest with yourself. You know, I mean, to be honest with you, you really can't lie to yourself. You can walk around lying to everyone and put on a mask and, you know, but when it comes on to yourself, you can't lie to yourself. Yourself knows you. Ooh, they know you. So you have to do your best to have some emotional regulation. And listen, we ain't perfect. We ain't perfect at all. But what we are conscious of the fact that we're not perfect. And because we're conscious of that and we're not pretending to be, we can do true, honest self-reflection and try to be better than you were the last time you was in the situation. You know, try and take baby steps towards a better you. And what is a better you? A better you, let's put it this way, a better me is not being reactive, but being more intentional with whatever I do in life, in my responses. I do not want to respond out of pure emotions. I refuse to do it. I want to think about what I'm going to say, think about what I'm going to do, and own it. And of course, that's a journey. And I mean, it's not easy all the time, but whatever works for you. If you have to, let's say you get an email and what was said in the email, you're like, oh, no, they didn't. Oh, no, they did not. Go there with me. What you do, you sit with self. Probably go have a cup of coffee, go have a cup of tea, whichever you prefer. You relax. You don't respond immediately. You walk around, you go take a walk. If you have colleagues that you can talk to, which I'm blessed with, shout out. probably will never see this, but shout out. If you know, you know. You know, you discuss it. And when you have good people around you who will tell you the truth and who will keep you on track by being authentic with you and steering you in the right direction and not enabling any behavior that is not beneficial to anyone and it's just momentary, that will also assist you. So you talk to others who you trust, others who you know that they have your best interests at heart. How you know that? Because they have shown you. And you know that if you say something to them, they're not going to walk and tell everybody about it. There's some form of a safe space. And then when you do respond to that email, whatever you say in that email, you stand on it. You stand on it. So you make sure that you speak to the person how you would want to be spoken to, in the tone that you would want to be spoken to. Now I want to touch on self-confidence. All right. Now, self-confidence comes from a place of you know who you are. You're not asking anyone for their validation of who you are, because you have gotten your answer from God. And how this happens? Well, I'll tell you what happens for me. Throughout your experiences in life, how you react in situations tells you exactly where you're at and which stage of life you're at. If you insist on reacting with aggression, with denial, with projection, with redirecting, with gaslighting, with manipulation, then guess what? You're at the stage of life where, and let me explain, you are comfortable in the space that you're at. And when you're comfortable in that mindset where nothing is my fault, where I cannot do any wrong, where everyone around me it's their fault and I'm the victim, and you know, everyone in the world is against me. I am just the eternal victim. All right, Trisha, that's a bit dramatic, but you get what I said. What that shows is that you are refusing the growth that you receive only through the experiences that life gives to you. And you know who gives you those experiences in life? God. Because we're here as students, you may think that you know. You may think that you're teaching. But I'm telling you this. The only thing you truly know as a fact is what is given through divine wisdom. And what I mean by that? Through God. Human beings are naturally traveling through this world. We are here to learn. We don't come here to stay indefinitely. We are here to learn, to grow, to expand, to ascend, to transcend. So when you refuse the growth that God is blessing you with through experiences, by being stuck in a certain mindset where I am always right, where there's nothing anyone can teach me, you are pushing away that lesson that God has ordained for you. And you know what happens? Because God's will shall be done, whether you like it or not, the lesson goes nowhere. The lesson will come back in different vessels, in different forms, in different ways, until you finally learn your lesson. So sometimes you'll hear someone say, but this reminds me of something that happened, or this person reminds me just like that person, that they act just like them. Because when you were supposed to learn that lesson from that situation and that place, that time, that person, you didn't. So it's all back in your orbit. To do what? To teach you the lesson that you did not learn. So with that being said, open your mind, listen, learn, express yourself. Express yourself, because through the lessons that we have learned, others can learn. We are exchanging information that is given to us by God. We're exchanging. Every interaction that we have with each other is an exchange of information. We share what we learn with each other. That's what we're doing. I'm guided to touch on this. So there are times that you will meet someone, right? And you're like, that person could not be real. They're so kind-hearted, they're thoughtful, they're empathetic, they're compassionate, they're strong. And you said this person could not be real. And you sit there and you wait for the mask to drop. The person has not shown you any indication that they are not who they say they are. They're not perfect, but they have not shown you anything for you to be alarmed. And you wait and you wait. And then you're like, could this be real? But what you have to understand, or what you should understand, is that doubt that you have in regards to others, it sits within you. It's a reflection of what you feel within you. You may feel that you're not worthy of someone who is so kind, who is so empathetic, who is so patient, who is so giving. You are reflecting your insecurities onto a gift that is given to you by God. You see, things that happened to us in the past, childhood, during your teenage years, your relationship with your family, with your friends, with your parents, even acquaintances, they sit somewhere. And for me, an experience is never looked upon as a bad experience. It's looked upon for me as a lesson. A lesson that I'm blessed to go through so that I can learn. And if it's something that, I feel warm about, it brings some kind of benefit in some way in my life, and I want for that to happen again, then that's the kind of experience. But if it brings something that is a total opposite, and I don't want it to reoccur again, then you step back and you say, what did I do to contribute to that situation? And I know it's hard. It's hard because as human beings, a lot of times we like to look outward and not inward. And looking for somewhere to sit the blame. You know, they did this, they did that, they did this, they did that. Okay. How did you contribute to it? Did you stop it? Did you enable it by not speaking up? Did you enable it by wearing blinders? Did you enable it by all them red flags flying all over the place? I mean, it's a parade of red flags. And you look at the red flags and you're like, no, those are green. No. I'm a seeing things. Them are some green flags and I'm a going. In order for you to make sure that an experience that happened, you learned a lesson, you have to see clearly. You have to step out of the illusion that you had no input in it, so that you can know that this here is what contributed to that, and that needs to be healed. And a lot of times when we go through things, and I mean very difficult things, it's the catalyst of healing. Healing that inner child, you know, that child that probably wasn't allowed to speak up, or when they did speak up, it didn't go anywhere, so they learned not to. Probably the child who wanted validation from a parent, and no matter what they did, they didn't get validation. You know, probably a child that feels that they have to have transactional love with others. In other words, if they don't have something material to give someone, then the person won't love them. And in my honest opinion, transactional love is temporary. It is not true love. True love is God's love, which is unconditional love. In other words, it's not, I will love you if you give me this. I will love you if you give me material things. No, it is, I will love you. I will love you and I will pray for you. So you need to look within. Stop blaming. It's not a blame game. Those who have done wrong to you and who have done you dirty, they know. They're quite aware of it. And they have to take accountability for their actions. And you must take accountability for your actions so that you can grow and be the best version of yourself. To touch on this, where sometimes it's a feeling for some that they feel as if they actually own these material things, like if they have ownership you know, of all these trinkets that we accumulate over a lifetime. I'd just like to share this with you, that we literally don't own anything. God has blessed us with all these material things that we can enjoy while we're here. and they may make our life easier in some way. But we're just stewardess of all these trinkets. Everything belongs to God. This is God's place. God allows us to enjoy it while we're here. We can't take it with us. So with that being said, we need to be very conscious and aware of never placing material things above each other. Never. Material things are just that. Human beings are priceless. Material things have a price tag. We should understand that nothing materialistic, nothing should allow you to want to hurt someone else, damage someone, like step over them to get to material things. Enjoy them while you have them. Enjoy them, and you thank God every single chance you get for everything that you have. You never take anything that you have for granted. But understand that human beings and how you treat each other, that's what's important in this life. How you treat each other. What you will do for someone without expecting something in return. How you show up to assist others authentically. How you listen. How you respond. How you show care. That's what's important in this life. It's very important for you to understand that you are here to make a difference, okay? You're here to be a light, a beacon, showing others the greatness of God that shines through you. The way how you treat others, the way how you present to others in a genuine, authentic way. Because those who truly have your best interest at heart, they will accept you for who you are. If you're a little quirky, if you're weird, if you do things that are probably not what they're used to, you know, you say things that are probably out of the way, you know, you're very much different. Those who are meant to be a part of your journey at a particular time or throughout your journey, they will understand. There will be no judgment. There will be understanding of who you are and an acceptance of who you are and a love of who you are. A matter of fact, if you turned up differently, they would wonder if something is wrong because that's not who we know. You know, so don't try to change yourself to fit a mold that you were not created to fit. We're individuals for a reason, and we have our own individual parts to play in life. And we're here to do our part and not to copy others and not to be afraid of our gifts. I mean, I had a time where I was like, man, I don't know if I can like sit and, you know, express all of this. And God is like, listen, my will shall be done, and what I say you're going to do is what you're going to do. And I was like, say no. And I was like, He told me, my Father told me, who you are is a blessing. You know, everyone is not the same. Everyone is not going to be bubbly. Everyone is not going to be in a good mood all the time. Everyone is not going to be the so-called norm all the time. But being different does not mean being excluded. It does not mean you don't fit. You fit where you were created to fit. And you accept yourself and you love yourself for who you are. Perfectly imperfect. I'd like to thank you for sitting with me today, joining me. And I pose this question to you. What is on your mind today? If there's anything that you would like to comment on, please feel free. Comment. Comment. And let us discuss all that was said here today, or probably a bit of what was said here today. Feel free to comment. Please do it in a respectful manner. You know, I created this space as a safe space for everyone to express themselves and to feel welcomed. And that's what I'm keeping it as. So please comment respectfully. Thank you for joining me today. Bless up, you know. Thumbs up if you check for the video. Subscribe. You're appreciated. Blessings. See you later.